Hi and welcome to Coach Jude at Rangitoto. It's time to report back on how I've been getting on during the first week of my fibre challenge. If you remember, I'm aiming to eat 30 grams of fibre each day for 30 days. Thankfully, despite my husband's prediction, I'm not recording this in my bathroom. What's been happening? Well, there's been some really good outcomes, some challenges and the odd surprise. Stay tuned for my complete lowdown on how my first week went. First off, apart from the very first day, I did consume a minimum of 30 grams a day. The first day I had a slight accounting error and only managed 29 grams. So I'll be extending the challenge by an extra day to make up for being mathematically challenged. After that though, I got into my stride, ending the week on a real high by consuming 43 grams. Now I realised that this was probably a bit over the top, as I did suffer a few minor side effects, a bit of bloating and discomfort, but nothing really serious. My average fibre intake for the week was just short of 35 grams. What has been good about the week? Well, I can honestly say I've never been hungry. In fact, there were times when I was eating more than I wanted to, just to get to my target. I suspect though, with a bit more practice and experience, I could minimise the need to do this. One observation I've had already is that this seemed to coincide with days when I had eggs for breakfast. These satisfied my appetite and my hunger, and so I often didn't want to eat much for lunch. But because these breakfasts are low in fibre, I needed to have a substantial lunch just to get back on track for the challenge. Other benefits I've experienced were my mood and energy levels. These have all been really good all week. I've been feeling really upbeat and motivated and seem to have got lots done. Similarly, after the first few days, my skin's been good, very little irritation, and my joints have been well behaved too. I've been walking about looking like I lost my horse though, for which I can blame a Heather Robertson workout video. I had COVID a few weeks back and I'm just getting back into my normal exercise routine, so the DOMS was brutal for a few days. My resting heart rate also fell in the week back to its normal 54 beats per minute, another good sign. It typically goes up if I'm ill or I've been consuming too much sugar or in the past alcohol. On the energy balance front, I achieved a small deficit, which should have resulted in about a £0.5 loss. Instead, I lost 4.5 pounds. Now, before you go getting excited, the previous 2 weeks I'd been on holiday and had just put this weight on. This is very typical of me. Also typical is when I go back to my normal eating, the extra weight comes off pretty quickly. Although I don't know for sure what's going on here, I've always assumed that my rapid weight gain is due to my increased carb intake. This results in an increase in the glycogen stored in my liver and muscles, and for every additional gram of glycogen stored, the body stores about 4 grams of water. When I return to my normal eating pattern, which tends to involve consuming about 130 to 150 grams of carbs a day, my glycogen stores get reduced and my body releases all that stored water too. However, this time, to hit my fibre target, my carb intake has averaged over 200 grams a day. So it's a little bit of a mystery, and I'll be interested to see how the next few weeks pan out. Lastly, on the positives of this week, I really must recommend the recipe I tried for roasted Italian style cabbage with lentils. It was truly delicious, probably one of the best vegan meals I've ever had, and packed with fibre. I used a sweetheart cabbage and swapped the red lentils for pui lentils as I wanted more bite and less mush. On the downside, it was quite a bit of work, so I wouldn't recommend this for a midweek supper unless you have quite a bit of time. Anyway, moving on, what did I struggle with? If I'm honest, not a lot. I had a couple of occasions when I went off plan. I had an attack of seafood eat food at my local pub when the landlord plonked a free plate of sausage sandwiches and chips in front of me. That didn't go well. And I had one craving last night when I desperately wanted some fruit. I know, strange, not my usual go-to, but that's what I wanted. So all in all, I'd say that it was a great week. Looking forward, this coming week again shouldn't be too challenging, although I have a couple of lunchtime appointments which can prove tricky as I'm out of practice thinking about having food on the move. So I'll need to give this a bit more thought than usual. Also, I need to look at when I have an egg breakfast and have two possibilities for lunch. One a full meal and the other more snacky but still high in fibre so I can hit my targets. Other than that, it's basically keep following the plan as it seems to be working really well. And as the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And remember, if your plan isn't working or you need more ideas because you're just setting out on your own weight loss journey, check out the link below to my free comprehensive guide to kickstarting your weight loss. Also, I've provided a link to the Fibre Challenge workbook in the description if you fancy joining me on this quest. Finally, remember to check back next week for an update in my progress, and don't worry, there'll be a warning if it's coming from my bathroom. All the best. Bye.